is the year that you know that you want to create that business of your dreams. You have been working way too hard for way too long for way too little, or maybe you're just trapped in a 9-to-5 where you're constantly grinding it out and you dream of having more freedom, more flexibility, more money, more of whatever it is that you dream of. And if you're really honest with yourself, probably what you're doing is a little soul sucking. All right, don't worry, I won't tell anyone. So in this video, I'm gonna break down the good and the bad, the pros and the cons of the most popular online businesses, the ones that are most likely to get you to your first $10,000 a month and to help you stay a solopreneur, which is what's going to give you that time and flexibility that you dream of. So let's dig in. All right, so you want to be a business owner. It's time. And everywhere you turn, there's somebody screaming something different about what you should do to make your first $10,000 online. This person says, just put a Canva guide together. You don't need any skills. Have ChatGPT make it. You don't have to do a thing and you're going to be laughing to the bank. To make real money online, you need to become a coach. You need to become a certified coach. You need to learn how to coach and you need to help other people coach themselves. Coaching, helping coaches is where it's at. So you want to quit your 9-to-5 fast? Become an agency owner. Every single business on the planet needs an agency, and you could be the next one they hire. So the question becomes, who's right? And more importantly, what's right for you? Because every single one of these business models is viable. It's probably viable to the person who's teaching it, hopefully, which is why they're actually promoting it. But what I want to share with you is that every single business has an upside and a downside. And in order to take the best path forward, what you need to do is look at what are the best case scenario of the path that I'm on? Do I like the future that I'm headed towards? And if I don't, is it now time to pivot before I'm so far down the road that it's really hard to back out of it? So today I'm going to go through all the different models. I'm going to break apart all of the pros and cons. I'm going to share with you what my experience and my opinion is for you to consider on your path forward to your first 10K as an entrepreneur. So as I'm sharing each one, what I want you to do is I want you to weigh the pros and cons of each business model and really think about it. Are the cons something I can live with? Do I really like the downside of that particular model compared to the upside? And when it comes to the pros, am I willing to do what it takes to get that outcome, that dream outcome? So of course it's hard to know until you're in it, but what I want you to do is just listen to what I have to say and choose a path forward based on your own hypothesis of what you would enjoy, what would light you up, what is part of your overall vision for your life. Because ultimately, if what's drawing you towards that vision is bigger than the fear or the difficulty of getting there, then you're more likely to succeed. So let's dig into the first business model, which is agency services or done-for-you services. There's some really good pros to this type of model. The first is that you don't need a lot of clients to generate $10,000 a month. For most done-for-you agencies, you would just need a handful of clients, probably no more than 6. As a result, you also don't need a huge audience and you don't need to build a huge audience in order to make 6 figures or more per year as an agency owner. The other thing that's nice about agency services is that you can launch them pretty quickly. Again, because you don't need a huge audience, you don't need a huge email list. You can just take the specialized skills that you already have, or you can develop new skills and you can get going very, very quickly. There's quite a few cons to agency life, and I have a lot of agency owners that come into my programs as students. A lot of them are extremely burnt out. If you've ever done client work, even in your 9-to-5 or corporate job, or in other types of roles you have, you know that it can be really difficult. When you've done client work, people will come to you when things are on fire. They get really frustrated. They want you to be on call 24/7. They're breathing down your neck. They expect certain results because in a lot of ways, that's what agency services is. The other thing about agency services is that scaling can be really difficult because the only way to scale your own time, which is what you're selling as an agency owner, is to hire other service providers. And that can get really expensive. So your stress levels can go up while your profit margins go down. And a lot of agency owners will scale up only to reduce their team size over time because they've gotten so frustrated with how hard it is to scale. So in order to make it burnout free, here's a couple tips. The first is to provide a very specialized service to a very specific niche. So let's say that you work with med spas, for example, and you provide ad agency services for med spas. Well, then you would have the same type of ads, the same type of messaging, the same type of targeting for every single med spa client, because that way it's much more rinse and repeat than having a variety of different types of clients. While that might be a little bit more interesting, it's harder to deliver. The second thing that I would recommend is to focus on fewer premium clients. Those are the agency owners that I know that are the happiest. All right, so let's talk about coaching now. I love coaching. I love being coached. You might like being coached as well. I really, really enjoy working with coaches. I have a lot of coaches in my community, and I have a coach that works for me that helps our students. So I firmly believe in coaching. The pros are that, like high-ticket agency services, there's a lot of potential to charge a lot of money for your time. And the second piece is that it's fairly easy to launch. While there are certifications and there are certain requirements for certain types of coaches that are honestly somewhat arbitrary. Like, you could get started coaching tomorrow. If you wanted to go through a certification, you could, but it's totally optional, and you could get started coaching right away. The toughest part about coaching is that you are trading time for money. A lot of coaches burn out because you're in back-to-back Zoom calls. And yes, once you max out on one-on-one, you could, in theory, move to group, but a lot of people underestimate the amount of volume that you need in terms of like the amount of leads and the audience size in order to be able to grow a group coaching business and keep it full. You end up marketing much more than you are coaching. The other thing is that there's a lot of coaches out there. So it's kind of hard not to get sucked into the sea of sameness. You've got to figure out how to really help yourself stand out. And that can be very, very challenging, especially when it seems like everybody's a coach these days. So my biggest tip is that if you're a coach, just have really good boundaries around your work. Set hours that you take coaching calls and you don't go outside of it. That is the number one best way to keep from burning out as a coach while you get to your first 10K in revenue. All right, so now let's talk about the course creator model. A lot of people want to become course creators. They want to create courses and they want to sell courses passively. And I get that. And I have courses that I sell passively, and it is a great business model. The pros are obviously that you can completely leverage your time and skill set by producing some content that's valuable to other people and asking them to invest into that content, and then delivering them something so great that they feel really, really good about the purchase. My perspective as a course creator, that's the goal. The nice thing is too, is that you can generate ongoing revenue from a single course that you've developed. So this is something that not a lot of people talk about when it comes to becoming a course creator. In order to make 6 figures a year consistently, or $10,000 a month, you need a ton of traffic. Like a boatload of traffic to your sales pages. And this is why. Because only 1 to 3% of the people that actually see your offer will buy it. And so let's say that you're selling a course for $97. You would need thousands and thousands of views to your sales page every single month in order to make $10,000 in revenue. And while you might be thinking, well, maybe I could figure out how to do that, there's really 2 ways to do it. It's organic or paid. And organic requires a lot of your time posting to social media, or paid requires you to either be really good at paid traffic yourself or hire someone that is. So it does take a while to get up and running, and that's only if you have an offer that you've figured out that people really want to buy from you and you have sales pages that convert. So creating all of that takes a ton of time up front. And you're creating all these courses and you're creating all this content kind of hoping, oh my gosh, I hope this is what people want to buy. And it's hard to know until you've already put the time in. So I really do encourage you to consider becoming a course creator, but do it with realistic expectations. So all of this is a tremendous amount of work. I would really encourage you that if this is something you want to do, give yourself like a 6 to 12 month runway and make sure that you've got the time and money to invest up front. All right, so the next business model that we're going to talk about is resell rights, affiliate marketing, and MLMs. I fit them into the same category because they all have the same characteristic, which is that you're selling somebody else's product that everybody else is selling. So for that reason, this is my least favorite business model, but there's still some pros to consider. So the pros is that it's really easy to get started. You don't have any product development to do. You can just go out and sell something that somebody else has figured out that the market wants. and they fulfill everything. So they fulfill on the product, they fulfill on the customer service, they fulfill on any services that go along with the products. You don't have to do anything except be a marketer. And so that's a really nice thing. You can just go out and market and build an audience and recommend products, and other people can use them. And then the company that is giving you the affiliate opportunity has to deal with all of the customer service, has to deal with all of the complaints, any issues, lost in shipping. They deal with all of that. You just recommend your favorite products, which sounds great, but much like being a course creator, but at an even smaller level, the payouts tend to be tiny. It is a really long road to making a lot of money with affiliate marketing. The other challenge with affiliate marketing is that you're selling what everybody else is selling. So that is what often is referred to as a commoditized market. So the definition of a commoditized market is that it looks the same, it feels the same as what everybody else is selling. So they just choose the best price or the best affiliate with the best offer or the best bonuses. And it starts getting really competitive, and it can start kind of feeling yucky. The other challenge with affiliate marketing, with not a lot of people consider, and this is particularly true with MLMs, is that they can change their terms and conditions at any time. So in the last year, there has been instances of some really popular companies, really popular MLMs that like poof, go away overnight. And you've developed your entire downline. You've sold these products to like everybody you know, your cousins, your neighbors, your friends. You've gotten them all involved. And then the parent company changes their agreement. Within days, you're out of business, and so is everybody that you got into this. So that's actually more common than most people realize with affiliate marketing or MLM or resale rights. So my personal feeling on affiliate marketing is recommend the products and services that you love that would benefit other people in your world, in your community. And when it comes to MLM or any type of master resale rights, I'd stay away. You might make a little bit of money in the short term while something's hot and new, but it will fade just as fast. So now let's talk about my favorite business model. If you are a smart person that has a professional background, maybe you come from agency or maybe you come from any other type of entrepreneurship, this is my favorite model to get started with in getting to your first $10,000 in revenue. And it is, drumroll, the business consulting model. So the best part about consulting is that ultimately when you're selling consulting, you're selling outcomes. So with agency services are done for you or freelancing, you're selling the doing. With coaching, you're selling your time. With courses, you're building and building, hoping that you'll eventually sell a course. But with consulting, you're selling outcomes. So instead of trading time for income or services for income, you're trading your income for outcomes. You're following a series of steps or a framework in order to deliver an outcome for the client. And when you exit, you leave them so much better off than you found them. And it's such a great relationship within that consulting arrangement. So you might be thinking, consulting, isn't that what like big 6 firms do when they help Fortune 50 or Fortune 500 companies? And yes, that is one type of consulting, but that's not the type of consulting that I would recommend for you. The type of consulting that I recommend to my students combines the high value service aspect of agency without all of the done for you. Where you go into a company, you leverage your own expertise, what you've built up over the years, and all of the experience that has gotten to you to where you are today. And you help other organizations that you believe in, that you are aligned with, that you love their mission and their vision, and you help them get results in a very specific area faster than they would have ever been able to do it on their own. And the nice thing is, because it's so outcome-based, meaning you're going into an organization and your job is to be like a ninja. You're going in your field of expertise and you are helping them solve a problem that they've been struggling with for a long time. You shorten their learning curve and you come in and you're the hero. It's a really fun role. You end up being like this thought partner, this advisor to other leaders, other organizations, especially when you have that mission alignment with or that values alignment with. It's super fun and it's so rewarding. So a lot of the companies that I work with are for-profit organizations that I really believe in, nonprofit organizations that I'm honored to serve, and it really is just super fun. And the nice thing is that again, like agency services, you don't need a ton of clients to get to 6 figures. So for example, I recommend that all of my students that go through my certification, that they start at a minimum of $2,500 a month. So that means you would only need 4 clients a month to hit that $10,000 a month goal. Consulting can really limit the amount of burnout that you experience because first of all, you're not doing any of the done for you. So unlike freelancing or agency services where you're doing all the done for you, consulting, you're just advising, but you're not in the weeds. In addition to that, you get to leverage your own expertise, your thought partnership, all of the, again, experience that you've developed over the years in an area that you love and that you're really in your zone of genius when you're talking about it. So it becomes very natural and comfortable for you to advise from that place. So nobody really talks about this, but consulting, while it can seem kind of like old school and not a lot of people are doing it, I find it's one of the best ways to package your knowledge and your expertise into a high ticket offer so you can hit that $10,000 a month goal pretty quickly as a solopreneur. So which business is right for you? I mean, honestly, it just depends on your goals. It depends on where you want to go and what feels most aligned for you. Personally, I love consulting. It's definitely gotten to me to where I am today. So that's my perspective. And of course, I'm biased towards that path. Eventually, over time, I have developed other income streams, but from that base foundation of being a consultant, where a majority of my income comes from. So if you like this video, make sure that you subscribe, make sure that you tune into some of my other videos, and you're going to see on the playlist right here that I have a whole series of videos on how to get started in consulting. So if you want to learn more about consulting, make sure to hit one of those videos, and I'll see you on the next one.